Good evening and welcome to the Rewind Show. Hashtag 123. I'm Steve Brown, and over there at the football club this evening is the manager of Birkett Borough, Brent Peters. How are you doing?
Alvida Sepe, I'm doing all right. How are you?
You're looking.
I'm just watching it breaking on here in my studio here. Might as well just be a studio now because it's not a sports bar. It's not a football club because we don't play football. So it's got to be my studio. And on the other monitor, I'm just showing the news. I know it broke earlier about Jurgen Klopp.
Well, yeah, we'll get on to that. We'll be talking about Jurgen Klopp in this show. Lots to squeeze in, as always. But first of all, what kind of week you had?
An absolute nightmare. Seriously, I've had a week from hell. And I mean from hell. Obviously,
what's been going on?
Nothing to do with football. Well, listen, I've got another business, as you know. So I've been 5:30, 6 o'clock. I'm in the depot every day, right? Because I'm training. With new guys on and we're training them up and we've got to get them out on the road. So that's the first thing. I do that and then I come back and get on with my work here at the football club. And there's lots of work to go on at the football club at the minute. It's like with the wind and the rain and the storms and the named storms and everything else. It's like a battlefield out there. And as you know, we're due to be at home on next Saturday, so I have a week to get everything shipshape. But I certainly weren't getting everything shipshape after back-to-back storms were coming in, because one minute you put all your fencing back up, you put everything back up, it's looking fantastic, and next thing, it's blown down, it's gone. So it's been a nightmare on that front. So yeah, I come back here and do my work. But varying days, like for instance on Tuesday, how can you have it? So I've got a meeting here with two absolutely tremendous young ladies from Rosendale Council that have been introduced to me from Alison that's working for Rosendale Council, and they come in to have a meeting with me about how the business fraternity and how people help each other. The one with the chair lady of the business club in Birkett. So we started this meeting. All of a sudden, I said to him, I've got to apologise here because we've got issues going on at the minute and I need my phone on. Normally, my phone goes off. And I said, no problem. All of a sudden, it was carnage. It was a car crash. I've got one vehicle that's broke down at top of Waddington Fell. It's miles away from anywhere. Yeah. Can't get anywhere near him. So Martin Peters, we're working in the Clitheroe area, so he's the only one that could go up and access him. So them two are out to commission. We're trying to rescue this van that's just. And the reason why I've only just bought it, and it's quite a new van. But the issue were they went to get to access some of these places. They're going through fords, but the fords haven't got just a bit of water in them. You could swim in them. They're that deep. So what's happened is some obviously wet or whatever it's got into the electrics, and you know what it's like with computers these days and modern vehicles, shut down completely. So that was one, and if that weren't bad enough, I get my next phone call of another vehicle that's brought down in Burnley, cutting half of Burnley off because of where he brought down.
Well, I'm laughing because I know this story because we were chatting about it, and you managed to get a bump start in reverse.
I took a chance. Listen, if I hadn't done this
into the middle of the junction.
I've gone out to him and I've gone, listen, he weren't having anything, and he's on the hill and he's in a junction. So anybody who knows Burnley, if you come across from the Crown Court and you come past the court, you come, you drop down, you follow through some lights, and you carry on, and it starts to go down the dip
It's the busiest junction in Burnley.
Honestly, and he's brought down on the hill coming up it. And it's carnage. There's wagons, there's coaches, there's buzzers trying to get round him, struggling like mad. I've gone out there trying to get the van going, couldn't get the van going, and I've gone. And I've looked at the junction and I thought, listen, we've got one choice here, we've got one chance. I said, I'm going to try and bump start it in reverse through the traffic lights on oncoming traffic. Yeah. So I've just got to time this right. I said, but if it fails, we're goosed. Burnley's cut off. Anyway, luckily, I got it in reverse, bump started it down there, and it cranked up in reverse going through the junction. So I had to slowly get it back out to the junction, and yeah, so that's just one little bit of my week from hell. So it ended up, I managed to get to training on Monday night to see the lads on Monday night at training. They were training last night again, but at some point you've got to give a little bit of family time. And I hadn't seen my grandson for 2 weeks. So really, Ryan Russell, I mean, it's his baby anyway, his fitness. So Ryan Russell took the lads at Thrive gym last night, and I just said, I'm going to give it a miss tonight, because I need to have some quality time with my grandson, really. So that's what I did.
Yeah. Well, just going to come on to that before we go on to the AFC Blackpool game this weekend. Good news over the last week or so, Brent. Progress of our striker, Toby Wright. Looks like he's on the mend. Well, he is, but listen, it's as you know, it's been a slow process, and I feel really sorry for Toby, and it's a good job, in all fairness, that Lewis Byrne and mainly Lewis Byrne, but like the other lads who've chipped in, Conor Morris, Kyle Siddall, that have been chipping in with goals. It's a good job that they've been doing that, because we would have been in a bit of a mess, because, as you know, some people say he's the best striker in the league, but he's been out for the majority of the season, and he's as frustrated as the next person. I mean, I was desperate to get him back involved, and I still am desperate to get him back involved tomorrow. I mean, we've had chats all afternoon, basically, where I'm kind of saying, he's saying, he were on grass on Monday training, and he looked good. He looked good. He was striking the ball well. He looked like he were coming back to where he should be. But he's felt a reaction, and it's got in his head a little bit, because obviously, he would do. There's no doubts about it. So he's had a bit of a reaction with it, and then he's gone into the gym last night, and they were doing boxing, and it's sore and achy, and he's feeling it. And I was desperate to name him in the squad tomorrow, and but he's kind of like saying, I kind of think I need another week, and and I'm saying that it's a bit selfish in a way, but I can't be selfish, because I'm trying to look after the club and the players, his teammates and the supporters, because everybody wants him back. Yeah. But on the other hand, I've got to try and play a ball with Toby, because it's all right me trying to push him, but if he's mentally not right, feeling it, because it's his body, at the end of the day, then it becomes a situation where you've got to say, well, I've got to give him his wishes, rather than kind of force him, if you will. Yeah, it's got to be his decision. It's got to be his decision, and it's not. There's people out there who'll say this and they'll say that. Listen, I'm talking to the lad, and there's nobody more desperate to get back involved than Toby Wright. I'm telling you, nobody. And I really do think, if I might be wrong here in what I'm saying, but I'm going to say it anyway, because I'm saying what I think. If you have a car crash, and that car crash shocks you, but you come out of it, and you come out of it well, and then you get back, and you've had your rehab, and you get back involved, and you get back in a car again. The first day you get back in the car, you're in a car crash again. Yeah. And straight away, that unnerves you. Yeah, it's a real sucker punch, isn't it? It's a sucker punch. And I kind of think that's, if we look at this from football perspective in Toby,
That's exactly what's happened to him, but not in a car crash situation, in a football situation. He's had a bad injury from pre-season that's happened playing against Giant Richard. He's tried to come back from it. Well, he did come back from it. As you know, we had him on the bench against Daisy Hill. So we had him on the bench at Daisy Hill. He's come off the bench, and he's only come off the bench. He's only been off the bench, not probably 6 or 7 minutes, and he's got white tape. And I'm being serious. It was a nasty challenge. It was bad. The lad should have been sent off. There's no two ways about it. He's taken him from behind. He's wrapped his leg round him, and wiped him out. And Toby, we took him off that night. I can picture him going yesterday. The lad was absolutely distraught. I mean, he was in floods of tears in the dugout, and there's nothing wrong with a blinking, a young man, being in floods of tears. I mean, at the end of the day, he's worked so hard to get back in, and then in the first challenge, and it weren't even a coming together. It weren't fair.
It was nasty.
It was nasty, and he's got wiped out, and kind of like, and he's really struggled since from that. It's like a double whammy. So no matter what anybody thinks out there, it's wrong. It now becomes a bit of a twofold situation. There's a bit of mentality in it, which there would be. Like I go back to the car crash when you've had a double car crash, right? So there's a bit of that in it, but there's also in it that, I can still feel it. I don't want to set back. I want it to be 100% right before I come back. And you've got to feel for him, because he is really frustrated, and we all are, because we want to see him back, and we're running out of games, really. So it'd be a crying shame. We've got to try and get him back as soon as we can. For the lad's sake. It's as simple as that. So, listen, I've left it with him now about tomorrow. I'm leaving the decision with him. If I can name him in the squad, it'll be a great boost for everybody. It'll be a great boost for the supporters, great boost for me and my staff. It'll be a great boost for everybody connected with the club, and it'll be a great boost for the players, because they want him back round them. But it's just a difficult one, because there's only so much I can say to him to make him feel wanted back. And there's only so much that obviously Toby's coming back at me, and we what he's saying, and I can tell, I can feel his pain, and I can feel his hurt. I think Danny Jones kind of puts it in a nutshell as well. We'd all love to see Toby back, but we've waited long enough. So 1 or 2 weeks more won't hurt us all. Fair point. It won't hurt us all, but there comes a time, like I've said before, that might be a fair point, but there comes a time as a player that it's like one of them in a rehab situation. There comes a time where when somebody's been in a car crash, you need them to get back driving sooner rather than later.
Or falling off an horse, get back on the horse as quick as possible.
Yeah, exactly. So it's the same with this. We're not trying to get Toby back to play, as in starting, but we need him back involved, even if it's only like getting involved. Getting around the lads, back in the changing room, doing the stretches and everything else before a game, doing the warm-up, getting involved with the warm-up, striking a football, just getting him involved. And if the game is suited, where you feel like, we could give him 10 minutes, then give him 10, then give him 10 minutes. You know what I mean? But that comes from a managing situation. We're not asking him to come back and start at number 9 tomorrow. He's not ready for that. Well, I know that. His fitness levels don't take him there anyway. His fitness levels won't take him there. But in terms of he's now back in training. He's been in training a while, but doing different, aspects of training. He's been on the grass. He's striking footballs. He's looked good. He's played 60 minutes for the reserves about 3 weeks ago at Nelson.
Yeah.
So he's got 60 minutes in that game. Although I would not have risked him on that pitch because it was on a 3G, and he should not have been risked on that pitch. But that's another story.
But he's making all the right moves.
But he's making all the right moves. But what I'm trying to say is, and going back to Johnny Jones's point, no 2 weeks won't hurt us. But there's comes a point where we need him back with us, sat round us, and easing him back in, because he'll need easing back in. Just like when somebody's had an accident or of whatever nature, you have to ease them at some point back in.
Yeah. And hopefully that'll be over the next couple of weeks. AFC Blackpool away tomorrow.
Yeah.
They're all big games now. Final third of the league season. Always good games with Blackpool, and sometimes we've been on the receiving end, haven't we? But it's a club that you're quite fond of.
Yeah, well, I think it's been. I don't know what's gone on there now, or from the start of the season, but the impression I'm getting when I spoke to Billy, who used to be the former secretary there, he's kind of told me that it's been taken over. So I don't know who the new owners are, and I don't know if it has been taken over. But I know when the previous regime, I used to love Blackpool. I used to love the people. I'd stand there and look at the facilities. Tommy, the chairman, absolute fantastic guy. I mean, he's worked close with me and Deborah in because as you know, Tommy's business. Well, I've said it before on here. He runs all the doors in Blackpool, all the security. He's got a big security company, and he runs a lot of the doors. And I think he's in charge of all security at Blackpool Football Club. And he's helped me a lot, me and Deborah a lot here. We have a licenses here for mine, especially in conflict management and all that nature. And I've always said, this is. I just love it at Blackpool. You're always, it's warm when you get there, and I don't mean it's not freezing cold, but the people round you,
the hospitality.
The hospitality, everything's good. And then I look at the ground, and I look round, and I always look at, what. There's so much that could be done here. There's so much great scope. It's like
there's plenty of space. There is potential at the club, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly. I used to love it. And I'd say to Tommy, and I'd say to Billy, if I ever retire, this is my club. This is where I'm retiring to. I've always said it because I just love it. But going back to the football perspective, they never give you. It's never an easy game. Only 2 seasons ago, when we were flying, we've gone there and we got a right rude awakening. You can blame it on the wind. You've got to be prepared. You know full well it's going to be windy. It's on a mild day. It's windy.
Well, I know we were 5-0 down at half time. I know that much.
Yeah, exactly. We're not going back through that and who were at fault and who weren't at fault and who prepared right and who didn't prepare right. All I'll say is the culprit isn't at the club anymore. But going back, at the end of the day, we had a good time. We should never have been in that situation, but we were. And so they're always a club that are capable of, no matter where they sit in the league. And let's be honest, in a lot of ways, if you go back over seasons and look where AFC Blackpool usually are in the league, there has been the odd occasion when they're up at the top end, but invariably, the majority of the time, they've always been at the bottom end of the table. Always. Yeah. You look back through all the archives every year and look back where the league tables, Blackpool will be down that bottom end. But even though they've been down that bottom end, one thing's a stonewall certainty that they've always give you is a game. They will fight for their lives. And equally, tomorrow will be no different. They were a bit disappointed when I spoke to the secretary when the game got called off there a month or so ago. Yeah. He was disappointed that the game had got called off because he felt they'd turned a corner. He said, we've got a new regime here now, we've got new players in, we've wheeled the other players out, and he felt that we've just turned a corner. And and they haven't really played since. So, and we haven't played since. So for a couple of weeks. So our lads, they can't afford to wait till half time to get the second wind or anything like that. They've got to be on it from the get go, because it just typifies this league anyway. The bottom, the bottom can beat the top. It happens all the time.
Yeah, it's a strong league.
But it don't. We'll just make sure it doesn't happen to us tomorrow. Simple as.
That's it. I asked you this question this week, but how's Adanusi since the Ilkley Town game? I thought he took a knock to his ankle, but later on you told me it wasn't his ankle, it was his knee.
Listen, I go on every week on the show about 3G pitches.
Yeah, you do.
People can talk to me till they're blue in the face about 3G pitches, right? And say what they want. 3G pitches are only good for, obviously, it's a money-making machine. You don't have games called off. Yeah. You less games. You keep playing.
And you can make revenue from it.
And you make revenue. And obviously, you can have games on 24/7. They can play on the pitch. Fantastic for that. But when you're playing competitive football, it's a liability. And if they were good and that good, the blinking top clubs in the leagues will be having 4G facilities, but they're not 3G facilities. They're not 3G. If anybody out, there might be some teams in the Conference National that have them, right? But in the main, they go for the hybrid where they've got fibre and grass. The thing is, with a 3G pitch, you can't turn on it properly. There's no give.
No give.
There's no give, and that's what's damaged Adanusi. He's twisted his knee. He's gone. He could have damaged his cartilage. He's done something. He's got some. His knee is still swollen, and that's come from the blinking state of the pitch. And I'm sorry, in my opinion, it's all right the leagues and accepting these clubs in, and we've got 3G pitches, and the FA have been supporting them and backing them. All of a sudden now, they're not they're not as flamboyant to supporting them because they're turning around and saying that the crumb-based causes cancer. So obviously, they're turning around and saying that now. Should kids be on these because it can create cancer? So they're not 100% certain about it. But from an adult perspective, in an arena that you're playing competitive sport, they're not right. You come off and, I remember a few seasons ago, our former captain, Davy Luca, we played on one. He got a bad infection because he got a cut leg. I saw Joy Fallon's leg after we played on against Ilkley. It's blood streaming from it. That's just from going to ground.
Yeah.
They're not. I just hate them. I hate them.
Which is probably one of the reasons why you always said you won't have one given.
Not for a competitive, not to play. I'd have one where we train on it and where the kids can go on it and all the youth teams because they're a bit more supple and everything else where you can demonstrate skills and passing and movement. But when you're in competitive football, in competitive leagues, it's a farcical. It's not right. And going back to Adanusi, that's exactly what's happened. He's tried to turn, and his knee's got his foot's gone one way, stuck, and his body's took him round, and he's damaged his knee. So he's been to Ian Liversidge, who I always recommend. I know we've got Miguel, who's our in-house physio. Miguel is a quality lad and a quality physio, up and coming, learning his trade. But when it gets to something like this.
Yeah. And having the equipment, I suppose.
And having the equipment, Ian Liversidge, who's obviously experienced, worked most of his life in Football League.
Well, lucky
he comes across, knows about all these injuries. I mean, he's currently helping out at Prestwich Hayes. He's a top guy, and he just knows his stuff. And I kind of guided Adi to go and see him on this last week and get an opinion, and he's told him to do nothing. He's told him to carry on doing the icing and all the usual stuff and kind of doing some stretching. But he's told him to go back in a week's time, and he said, we'll have a look, see if the swelling's gone down, and if there isn't, well, you're going to have to go for an MRI scan. because there could be some serious damage behind the knee.
Yeah.
So it's frustrating for the lad. I mean, he gets his chance to come into the team, and then
and he were playing well.
And he were playing well. And then this happens, and it's not happened again. It's not happened by a coming together, by a challenge. It's happened by a blinking because unfortunately, because the FA have an agenda of wanting more teams in the English pyramid, so that they can have their ups and downs and they can have the perfect pyramid, which will never be. So to do that, they're letting teams come in with plastic. There's more and more clubs joining with plastic. Look how many from probably 10 years ago. There won't be a plastic pitch in the northwest counties. And now
most of them coming through, Brent, are coming from sports complexes now, aren't they? More and more so.
More and more, exactly.
Because they don't have their own ground. They don't have their own ground, so they're using sports complexes.
Yeah, exactly. So listen.
What about?
It's my opinion.
Talking of injuries, while we're on the subject, what about Mason Fallon? How's he recovering?
Mason's back now. Doing, or he will be. He's doing weight bearing exercises now. So, he'll be there watching us and supporting the lads tomorrow at Blackpool. But he's not ready to kick a ball or anything yet. But he's got to the stage now where he can come in and probably join in at training, doing certain remedial exercises, which is a good sign. And we'd like to see him back before the season finishes. Obviously, I mean that's another blinking setback for the lad and setback for the club. It is what it is. And whilst we're talking about Mason, we haven't got to forget about Ryan. I mean, it's like
you read me mind. Yeah,
we've had injuries, right? But I've made a point after we brought him back before, and I told him because of the way he is and the way his manner is, everything. I am not bringing you back to sit on a bench. Right? It's not happening. If there is an opportunity for you to come straight into the team, then I will bring you back. So, like for instance, tomorrow we could be, there could have been an opportunity to include him tomorrow in the squad. But I'm damned if I'll put him in the squad to sit on a bench. And equally, in fairness to Ryan, and I've got to be fair here, I have given permission to be playing for Rosendale FC, and he has been playing for Rosendale FC on a Saturday. So for me. Yes. And for Ryan, right, he's getting more benefit by playing for Rosendale FC than what he would do if he was sat on our bench. But he's obviously still a big part of the football club. He's always at training. Definitely. Listen, he's a good lad, but he can't do what he did. It's and he needs to learn from that, and he will learn from that. But he's better. He's playing for them. And if it's a case that he's going to be on the bench, and he could be on the bench tomorrow for us, right? If it's a case of that, but he misses out on 90 minutes with Rosendale FC, I don't think that's doing him any good. I think he'd be more beneficial getting that 90 minutes than sat on our bench.
Well, from what I see, I think the team as a whole, they're doing quite well, and they're winning games, and Ryan seems to be playing a big part in that. Which is good. Yeah,
well, which is good. Yeah, of course it is. That's good. And like I said, and I will do. I mean, the competition in the field at the minute is obviously difficult. I mean, we've got another situation. I mean, when I say difficult, the lads have done all right in there. They're doing okay. As you see, our captains had to sit out onto the bench. But again, we haven't been playing for a couple of weeks, and the simple fact of the matter is, and it is a simple fact, we've trained this week. They trained out on Monday. They're on grass with a ball, but Connor, who's kind of won the place back in front of Michael, for one reason or another, didn't train on Monday on the grass. He trained on Thursday in the gym. In boxing, but he hasn't trained on the grass. So, in my opinion, as a manager, he ain't done himself. We haven't played for. He came off. He was struggling at half time against Ilkley, rubbing his ribs. We gave him 10 minutes into the game, right? We give him 10 minutes into the second half, and obviously, eventually, we took him off and replaced him with Michael. And then from that situation, we've not done anything as such because of the weather. And then we've got to go. Then when we do come back, which was Monday, and they have a 2-hour session, and a really good 2-hour session with a football, where it's like, you know, sharp stuff, and, you know, not just only sharp stuff, but obviously shooting, everything that comes into it on the grass. We've done that on Monday. But Connor hadn't been, no, he didn't miss it on purpose. He had something on. I think he had an exam or something the day after. I get that. But at the end of the day, we've got an important game on Saturday. We've got to hit the ground running. So if a player's done two training sessions this week who's challenging him, right? Well, for me, other people might do it different, but for me, that player has got his nose ahead, because he's been at 2 training sessions.
And of course, now we spoke about him last week. Great news. We got Andrew Taylor with us.
Yeah, Andrew were involved on Monday, and got involved and looked good and in everything he were doing. And he'll be a good, great addition to the team.
Yeah, brilliant. So what I want to bring up. What I wanted to bring up,
you missed one player there. You haven't told me Brad Hancock.
I thought Brad Hancock was. Well, I know that it was struggling, and you rested him against Ilkley. He was on the bench. I suppose Brad's going to be fit and raring to go, won't he?
No, he's been under Ian Liversidge. He hasn't got to do anything. He's got a problem at back of his. That's all started. This is another one that started from going on that pitch at Ilkley.
Well, I know that you were going to rest him. That you didn't want to play him at all, did you?
I didn't want to play him. But he's gone on late on in that game at Ilkley, and that's aggravated it. And now Ian Liversidge is giving him. That's the guider for me. He's told him. He went to see him last night, and he's told him until this pain, wherever this pain is, has gone, he can't be involved. So we've lost Brad Hancock, unfortunately. But listen, in a cruel way. I mean, it's cruel for us at the minute, but for them, for both AD and Bradley. It's bottom because everybody wants to be involved in the club's biggest game of the season.
Yeah.
At the minute, everybody wants to be involved in that game. And if it was as it was scheduled for the 6th of February against Southport, the chances are they wouldn't be involved in it, and that would have been an absolute linking. There's no guarantee they'll be involved anyway. Let's get it right. They have to earn the place and they have to earn the right to be involved. You follow me? They have to earn the right. But the fact is, what I'm saying, because he's still got an injury, if it was on the 6th, which it was announced earlier that it was going to be on the 6th, they would have had no chance to make that. But now, because it's been moved and we haven't announced it yet, it's not our doing. People don't understand it's politics, and it's politics within football, within leagues, and their league of something's gone on with fixtures at their side, at Southport side, and because something's gone on with the fixtures, the league have penciled the game in. I think it's against Spennymoor on the 6th, and they wanted my cooperation. Now, they spoke to me, and I could have been awkward, which it wouldn't be awkward, but like saying, no, we've geared it now for the 6th. We're going on the 6th. We're doing that. We'll go on the 6th. But I played ball with him and said, listen, it don't matter. It is what it is. We have to play them. We have to go there. So we'll go on the 27th. It's going to be the 27th of February now. So it hasn't been, but it will be. I'm announcing it now. So the Southport game is not on the 6th.
It's on the 27th of Feb.
8 o'clock kickoff.
Brilliant.
So so these injured players, Toby included, have got a really good chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, But that bodes as well that they've got a chance to push themselves, aim for, because it's like 4 weeks off. So they've got that chance to aim for that. But equally, if these lads that are already got the shirt keep pushing up and doing the business, they won't get in.
Yeah.
Right? So the issue is these lads who've got the shirt have got to really push themselves to keep them out. Because if they don't and the results start going pear-shaped, they'll be in.
Yeah. It's all there to play for.
Correct.
I wanted to move on to quite a lot of traction that we've been getting on socials over the last couple of days. We had the visit of Stump Peg a few weeks ago, YouTuber, and just bring her up on the screen now. I think she's on the screen. There she is, Stump Peg, interviewing you as part of her the match day experience, and I believe over 100,000 have watched the Beckett Borough video, which is it's great for the club, isn't it? Great exposure.
Listen, if anybody hasn't seen Neve's work, not I'm not just saying this because she's been. This isn't the first time she's been at Beckett Borough. She interviewed me.
Very good.
But her work and wherever she goes and what she does, it draws attention because how she puts things together and collates everything and makes it into a story. Even not just with, obviously this is a non-league team in Beckett Borough, but not just about Beckett Borough, but everything she does, even about Premiership clubs or, even going out to Barcelona or Real Madrid and what she does out there.
She's on Sky Sports as well.
Exactly. She's really, she's an astute, clever girl. Let me tell you, really, really astute, clever girl. And that video that she's done, on behalf of Beckett Borough Football Club. Wow, I didn't know anything about it. In fact, I think when it started breaking, it were Monday night. We're at training, and I had my phone in my pocket,
and I kept shared it.
And my phone was going like mad in my pocket. I'm thinking, what's going on my phone? My phone's going mad, and I never even looked at it. And when I got back in my car to drive back from training, I needed Deborah to put something in the diary for me because of an urgent appointment further on in the week. So I rang Deborah up to say, will you put in the diary a disappointment, whatever? And she said, have you seen this video? I said, well, I haven't seen nothing because I'm on. Oh, she said, it's going mad. It's going mad. Everything's going mad. So that's what it were. The phone was going mad. Everything was going mad. I was down in the FedEx depot only today, and about 4 people came to me and went, oh, I've seen that video. What a fantastic video. And she's done, she's done herself proud, but she's done absolutely magnificently proud. And, I'm like I said on LinkedIn, I'm totally humbled and grateful that
she chose
for what she shows us, and she's done that and give us that exposure. And now we're getting emails, from all over the world. It's in my emails at the minute, coming from all over the world. You won't believe that they're all wanting a piece of the action at Beckett Borough Football Club. It's fantastic. Yeah. It really is.
Well, that's one of the things the exposure, the promotion of the club is massively important. We speak about it every week about the finance that needs to be put into the club. The other clubs, the likes of, we were talking over a week about North Shields and March United and Nuneaton Borough, just to name a few. They're all feeling it, aren't they, Brent? And being able to promote the club like we do with Terry's Cult on this Rewind show, it's massively important for bringing revenue into the club.
Listen, as a manager and as somebody that's been in the game like I've been in, there's nothing more than I'd like every week to walk out into a stadium, a proper football stadium. Do you know where I'm coming from? A proper football stadium, where you beat the atmosphere and everything else. Like this is what attracts people to Bury FC. Forget the name Bury FC or whatever. They're walking out in a football league stadium,
and the fan base that it brings,
and the fan base. Now, but we are what we are at Beckett. We've got what we've got at the minute, and it's small steps, and it's always been small steps. And unless anybody knows the story about this fantastic football club, right, and needs to know the story, understand the story. I'm not talking about, Roger Indle, our historian, has done fantastically well with books that he's put out there. He's done brilliant. But since my involvement, and I can only talk from my involvement, and how I came to be here, and the struggle and strive of how the club was back in 26 years ago, there's a story behind it all. And if people don't look at the history and just walk on this ground and think, you know what, and you look at a certain part of it and think it's a freaking shithole here and all this carry on, hang on. I get it in some respects. I get it. But the thing is, what they don't understand, when I walked in 26 years ago, if you think it's a shithole now, you should have seen it 26 years ago. Believe me.
Yeah.
Honest and truthfully. And that's what I'm saying. And in all honesty, it's true what I've said on that video. I'm a one-man band here, and then Deborah comes along, and she got involved. So really, I'm a one-man band with Deborah because nobody else has took me, and I've been banging the drum and banging the drum and banging the drum about volunteers while we've had this building where we're having this work going on at the side. I've wanted, obviously, a tarpaulin sheet because it's dislodged everything, even in the main building. So what's happening is when we're hitting these storms and everything else, it's blinking rain. There's bloody rain coming in at varying places. It's horrendous. And I'm saying to people, I want to give me a lift on the roof to put a tarpaulin across to at least make it okay. And I can't get anybody. But luckily, Darren Rees, who's already you, said to me, Brent, I'll give you my time on Sunday. We'll get that sorted. That's all I need. Yeah. But that's fantastic. So Darren's going to be here on Sunday, and we're going to get it across and fix it. But there's loads of other jobs, and there's jobs I can't do on my own. And you go to people and ask volunteers, and there's people who are handy with tools, and they don't want to know. No, but if you say to them, I'll tell you what, give me a bill, they'll come and do it, and they'll give you a bill, and they won't pay. You know, this about blinking volunteering, and we support the club and we'll do this for the club, and it winds me up to a point. I'm not going to mention any names, but they'll come on and they'll have an opinion and say, why do you not move them seats over there now and get that done and get that done? Well, yeah, why do you not come and give me a list then? Oh, well, I haven't really got time to come and give. Well, shut your mouth then. Simple as. Yeah. Keep your dog shut. Yeah. You know, because at the end of the day, how do you want me to do that? I'll go and pay somebody to do it, have you? When we haven't got a pot to pee in.
But like you say, a lot of clubs, some clubs are fortunate to have a long list of volunteers where for many years, over 20 years, it's been you and Deborah O'Connor.
Well, correct. It has. And then sometimes you do get some... I'm not being disrespectful. We have over the years had some people that have come on and volunteered, but there's been a liability. One lad, he got in that bear outfit, but blinking heck, he was a complete liability. And you think, it's making job even worse.
Yeah, you have got waves and strays from time to time floating up Caltech Lane.
But listen, it's small steps, and one thing I've done here, I think outside, I have a conversation with a partner of mine that comes in, and he's never been, he played for the club years ago, he hasn't got a first clue, how we've survived here for 26 years, right? And what's happened is, we talk about money. I've always said here, when we've got £1, we've got to make it stretch to like being blinking 50 quid.
Yeah.
And if we've got 50 quid, we've got to make it stretch so it's like blinking 500 quid. Yeah. That's how it's got to be. Now, if we're building a pot up and trying to build it up and build it up and build it up, this pot, right? I've always said it, everybody will get paid from Bacup Borough. Everybody. Sometimes they might be a little late. That's the way of the world. Sometimes they could be late, but we'll always pay them. Well, I've got a partner. You need to pay. You've got money in the bank there. There's money in the bank. Hang on, no. Because when that money's gone, how do you know that you're not going to arrive here on a Saturday morning and Stan Roos in middle at pitch? You haven't seen it. Because I turned up one Saturday, Stan Roos in middle at pitch. And if we spent all our money because we've kept everybody happy, we paid that bill, we paid that bill, we paid that bill. But with no money now to put that Stan Roos back on.
Or a £500 bulb needs replacing.
Yeah, you follow me? It's madness. You've got to manage this. And God rest his soul, Brian Boyes told me the situation. And he always said to me, listen, They don't part with that anything until the blinking last minute. You keep it. And I'd rather listen to him than somebody that's worked in an establishment that's got laws that money's no object and they can just pay when they want to pay. Well, it's not like that at Bay Cup. Sorry, it isn't. And the next thing what blinking really annoys me, and I've only really studied it tonight, and I'm absolutely fuming. I'm really going to say this. I am fuming. And I can feel a fine coming on. One thing that this season, I've tried to stay clear of having a dig at the North West Counties League.
I think we've done very well, Brent, up to this stage, haven't we? Done very well.
I think so. But when I look at these fixtures, when I've looked at this picture, the last home game that was in the calendar for us, the last home game, right, was the 16th of the 12th, 23, when we lost on here against FC St. Helens.
Yeah.
Right? Nothing to do with any postponements because there's been no postponements. Right? This is how the fixtures have come. We are not due to return home until next Saturday, the 3rd of February. Now, that is banking on the weather being kind to us.
And we've been lucky there because it's a cup game.
And well, yeah, but
the fact that, you know, if we wouldn't have been drawn at home in the cup, it'd have been another week away.
Correct. So the point is, and this is nothing to do with, there's been one postponement at Bay Cup and it was the first week in December.
Yeah.
So we got to December but everybody else were off.
They got it the same week.
So this is to do with fixture planning. Planning. The 16th of December, we was in the fixture list at home against FC St. Helens. We in the fixture list, December. We in the fixture list, right? In the fixture list, hadn't got another home game scheduled, so it's away, no game, away, right? Until next Saturday, 3rd of February. So from the 16th of December until 3rd of February is 7 weeks. Now, tell me how if any football club in non-league football, right, can survive 7 weeks without a fixture, a 7 week at home, and you haven't had a fixture at home, right? How you tell me. That means, and how can a team go 4 league games on the bounce away? And that's how the fixtures are there. They're on the linking fixture list. You look at them. Go on the club pages and look at them.
But then you wonder why so many clubs are going to war because
it's madness.
Just can't survive.
And the league rules will turn around, and the league have said it to me in the past when they've been talking to me. They've said to me, we always try to make it where you can't have more than we don't like teams having. When it gets to back end of season, we don't like teams having 2 back-to-back home games or 2 back-to-back away games. We like it to be equal. Well, how can 4 away games on the bounce, right? How can a team go 4 away games on the bounce away? And that's got nothing to do with cups. I'd missed the Southport game out of that, what was scheduled. I've missed that out. You look at the fixture list now, go on the fixture list, and anybody who wants to look into it, I'll tell you how you get onto it. You go on to the North West Counties website. You click on, don't go on their fixture page, click on club pages, right? You click on club pages. When you get on club pages, you find the wording that says Division 1 North. Click on Division 1 North, right? When you click on all the badges, crests of the football clubs will come up. You press on Bay Cup Boroughs, right, and our club page will come up. You click on fixtures, and all our fixtures that are all set out are there on club pages, and that will tell you what I'm saying. Our last home game was on the 16th of December. So and that's another thing, December, which is a notorious month, right, but it's a month where you know, if you manage to get a Boxing Day fixture in at home or whatever, it can be a lucrative month. Can be December because people come to your ground and class it as a Christmas do and everything else.
Well, I've got the fixtures up, Brent, and I'm gonna try and scroll if I can. I don't know if you can see that.
I can't see it, might as well, but your viewers might. But you'll have to stop. You need to make it bigger. It's too small for me, that. But I've already looked at it. I know it's right.
Yeah, but people at home will be able to see that and see, the fact that looking down them fixtures, as you said, the last game was, did you say it was December?
16th to the 12th, 23.
Yep, 16th of December, FC St Helens. There, I've just, and then of course after that.
Right. So from there, what you need to do now for our viewers is read the week after, the week after, the week after, the week after, the week after. Read it down, who we should have had and where everything. So they'll get a picture. They'll not see that.
The week after, they'll see that it was FC Darwin, Darwin FC. Sorry, that was Boxing Day. We're then away on the 30th of December to Nelson. And then after that, we didn't play until the 13th of Jan. And that was another away fixture at Ilkley Town. And then, of course, tomorrow, away again. So as you rightly say, 7 full weeks without an home game.
So let's come back to that and try and keep calm here, right? It's all right, the new fixture, and I'm not, listen, everybody's got to do it. It's all right, the new fixture secretary, and people think he's doing a good job and this and the, he might be. But it's all right bringing club team games forward, but it comes with a car crash, because eventually what's going to happen, you can't pair fixtures up, so you end up with blank weeks.
Yeah.
And but the more I can handle blank weeks to a point, but I can't handle going 7 weeks from without having an home game. How club's supposed to survive? And then you go on social media, and you've got people like Marks FC pulling out of the league, their league, what they're in, because they can't sustain it, they can't manage it, right? You've got Nuneaton Borough going out the league, they resigned from the league.
And these are established clubs. These are big, large size clubs.
Correct. And then you get FC United, the manager putting a plea on when the game went last week. We've got no money. So they're doing what's that blinking thing?
The virtual ticket scheme that they've got.
They're doing a virtual ticket to try and get some money in the pot. And then North Shields have got issues. But the leagues aren't helping. How can you be 7 weeks? That's my point. And in that 7, they haven't turned around to us and said, I paid the league the other day. I paid the league £200 and something, right? Which is our, what they'll say, league services, right? They haven't turned around to us and said, hey, Brent, you haven't been at home for 7 weeks. You can suspend that. You get me? You can suspend that payment. Oh, I'll tell you what they'll do. If I didn't pay it, they'd rattle us a bleeding big fine down and say you haven't paid it. They don't give a shit. Believe me. They don't give a shit. And it's wrong. And that can't be happening. And I've got all the evidence here. And there'll be some blinking, look, I'm under pressure with work and everything else, but I'll find time to blinking make my feelings known about that, because that is scandalous. I didn't even realise you just get on with your day. I'm that busy doing other things, trying to get these builders motivated and everything else. Yeah. And until I studied it before I come on this show today, I'm thinking, wow, what's that all about?
We need some help. You certainly, 7 weeks without an home game, no money coming into the club. Yet there's a lot of money going out of the club.
Let's get one thing straight. I'm talking Bacup Borough. No home game for 7 weeks. That is no money coming in on the gates. And I know you shouldn't rely on gate money, but it's a fact. People run raffles because it's extra income. You can't run a raffle because you're not at home. On top of that, your bar is kind of not functional because you're not opening your bar because you're not at home. So you're not getting any good money in over the bar, right? Normally, we would have private functions on here. We have had bookings coming our way that people who wanted to hold their events here, and Deborah's had to turn them away because the bookings have been for 150 plus people, and because we've only got this room, which is like somebody's front room. We could not have taken it. Now we could have been cynical. Oh yeah, we'll take it and make everybody like sardines and standing. That'd do us long term. That'd do us more harm than good. So we're having to turn them away. So we're not getting no income coming through the door from the bar. So the bar's shut. We're not getting private parties. There's nothing. So basically, the business is at the minute is stopped. It's stopped. It's worse than COVID at the minute, and that's not out by 7 weeks away.
Yeah, at least with COVID, you were getting that 10,000 quid.
Yeah, exactly. Blinking Boris did. I mean, they all not Boris, but I'll tell you what, he didn't do us any harm because COVID kicked in. We weren't blinking trading, and everybody had a chance to have a piece of the blinking financial pot. But now this is just like COVID. We're not. If we'd have had games at home, it would have softened the blow. But we haven't. And if they're too blinking at these leagues. That they think, oh, well, it doesn't really matter. Well, it does matter because you need your cash flowing in. Yeah. It's damaging.
It matters when you're trying to keep a club that's been in existence since 1879 afloat.
Listen, everybody here is doing the best in terms of, I've got to thank Davina Knights as well because last week, Andrew went to visit. I basically said to him, why do you not go and have a word with Carol at Hallidays, which is a local company in Bacup. They don't really manufacture. The kind of the business is they supply these nursing homes all over the country with things. And Nigel went in, and she really didn't want the advertising. She wanted nothing, but she wanted to donate something to the club, which we really thank her for. Fantastic because it helps. It helps.
Brilliant, yeah.
And so what's happened is now, because we don't want something for nothing, we've got the logo, and Davina have spent the last 2 days, as well as running her own little business, by putting the badge, and we'll see it tomorrow because we'll be exposing it at Blackpool, on the shorts. So all the first team shorts are going to have their badge on. But these are things that we have to do. We have to be thinking outside the box. But the business fraternity, which they do, and I have to say this, and have done, have to support it. And again, we're indebted to Hallidays and Davina for getting this done so quickly and not costing us anything, because if we'd have gone to Macron to have it done, it would have cost us.
Yeah. No, brilliant.
And then what would have happened? And I'm being funny, and I'm being a bit cynical, but I'm being funny as well. Then what would have happened? A bill would have come in, and then my trusted mate, who is my best mate, he's a good lad, he'd be looking through the bills, and he'd say, "We have to pay this. You better get it paid." And I'd be saying, "No, we ain't paying it because we ain't got enough money." You get me?
I get you. We're almost coming up to an hour, so I'm just going to squeeze the last bit in. And we're talking earlier about Jurgen Klopp decided to call time on his managerial career at Liverpool, end of season. Do you think it's a good time for him to leave, because he's done really well, and he's won trophies, and probably is the best time for him to go, leaving on an high?
Well, that's right. Yeah. I don't blame him, really. He's done well, and he's like Sir Alex Ferguson. He'll be in the folklores, and he's done really, really well. And it looks like they're going to finish this season on an high as well. So you can't predict anything in football, but you can't take away also what he's achieved. And he's been a truly good fit for Liverpool, and done well. And whether I'm a Man United or not, I'm not one of these who we hate Scousers and all that. I've got some good friends in Liverpool, some truly good friends in Liverpool, and I just respect good managers, and I respect good teams, and Liverpool have been a good team over the years, a long number of years, but they've also been a fantastic team under Jurgen Klopp.
What do you think it is? What do you think it is about Klopp, Brent? That's kind of he took over the club. Did he come in after Brendan Rodgers? And he's totally transformed the club.
Well, he has, and in a difficult time. Did he not lose his mum? He went to go back to Germany. Did he lose his mum? I might be wrong on that, but I think I'm not wrong.
No, I think
he lost his mum, and there were, and he probably thinks, right, well, there comes a time when you've won everything in the game. There'll come a time, and it happens in football, where Liverpool will go through a bad spell. They will, like Man United are doing. They will. It goes round, and so now is probably the best time. You don't want to get out when things are going sour. You want to get out while you're on a high. And that's what he's doing. And I wish him nothing but the best. He's brought fantastic entertainment to our TV screens, hasn't he? Let's be honest.
He has. Anything more to add, Brent, before we wrap up another show?
The only thing is being cynical again. It's been fantastic, Neve, what you've done for us. But then 90,000 likes that's all on your YouTube. If they all give us £1 each, we'll be building a new Wembley Stadium at the Brian Boyd Stadium. So that would be fantastic as well.
Well, in fact, it's 100 at this moment of speaking, it's 100. Let me just have a quick look. 107,471. And as you said, even if you just give us 50 pence, we'd be happy.
Exactly. Fantastic.
But that's an idea, Brent. I know you've never been someone who wants something for nothing. But if there's local businesses, regional businesses out there, even national businesses, maybe there's people tuning in off the back of Neve's video and they want to get involved with the club. We don't do anything for nothing. We've got lots of different platforms for advertising. We've got a brilliant company, with the show, Terry's Cult, nationwide, global brand with us. Get in touch with us.
Yeah, endorse that.
On that note, see you later, mate.
See you, pal.
Bye now.
Hello, welcome to Make Up Borough Football Club. I'm Andrew Knights, Head of Business Development. Over the last 18 months, both myself and our fantastic media team have been working hand in glove, building up crucial relationships between the business sector in Bacup, Rosendale and beyond to link them with the club and get some much needed investment into Bacup Borough Football Club. With over 50 businesses now involved in Bacup Borough Football Club, that's fantastic, but we would like you and your business to come and join us on our journey. We have lots of exciting packages available to suit both your company's budgets and your needs. So what platforms do we have here at Bacup Borough Football Club for your business? We have the live rewind show every Friday with Steve Brown, our head of media, and our manager for over 25 years, Brent Peters. We also have every game home and away live through our Facebook platform, brought to you again by Bacup Borough Media team. We have banners, pitch side boards, website hyperlinks and programme adverts. These are all things that will promote your business through the football club. We also, for this season, have a very exciting new edition where we're offering match day hospitality. Packages are available, please get in touch. So if you like the sound of us from what you've seen today in this short video, then please get in touch. You can come and meet us, you can come have a look around our facilities and meet the staff, or likewise we can always organise a meeting to come and visit you. On behalf of myself, Andrew Knight, and everyone connected with Bacup Borough Football Club, thank you for listening to this short video, and fingers crossed, we'll see you all soon.